The War Within is nearly here, and as always there's going to be a bunch of new easy mounts for you to pick up, so in this video I wanted to run through the easiest mounts you'll be able to get once the expansion goes live. The first one up will be the Swarmite Skyhunter, and this is going to come from collecting all the various skywriting glyphs that you can find across Khaz Algar. There's going to be a ton in each zone, and I'll have a map up now going through each of the zone's locations, but if you want a more in-depth guide on each location, then I'll have a written guide and also a video guide from True Endgame in the link down below. The next one up is going to be the Delver's Dirigible, and this is probably going to be the easiest one on the list because all you need to do is hit max level, do the intro quest for delves, the kind of endgame delve stuff, and eventually you will get yourself the mount, and then from there you can start working on the collectibles and customization for the mount itself. But yeah, as simple as that, hit max, head to Bran in the main city, and you'll have some introduction quests to go through, and once you're done with that, you will get yourself the mount. Although it does seem like you need to wait for Season 1 to begin to be able to pick up this mount, which will take around 2 to 3 weeks after launch. Next up is going to be the Soaring Meaderbee. And to get this, all you need to do is grind elite bees and elite kind of ale elementals found near the Cindermead Brewery. There's going to be a ton of them here, there is a lot of mobs. They are quite difficult to solo, but once the expansion goes live, there's probably going to be tons of groups, 2x4s, all that kind of good stuff farming these. So you'll just need to form a group, grind down the bees, and get yourself 900 sizzling cinder pollen. Once you've got 900, there's going to be an NPC over here. You'll speak to him, you'll hand in the pollen, you'll get yourself the mount, and that is going to be another easy one for you to knock off. Next up will be the Shalestone Ramolith, which is going to come from the Earthen Allied race, but once you get this, all your characters will be able to use this. And most of the criteria for this mount you're going to be doing anyway. The first criteria is going through the War Within campaign, so the leveling campaign and then the max level campaign. This will take a bit of time, but it's something you're going to want to do regardless. So that's not too big of an issue. And then there's going to be 3 quest lines that we need to do within the Isle of Dawn. These don't take too long, and you will get reputation for doing these as well, I believe. So they're worth knocking out anyway because you want the rep. So these will be marked on the map. There's going to be the Morning Rise, the Broken Tools, and Merrick's and Steel Vein. Once you've done all of that, you'll unlock the quest line to do the Earthen themselves. Once you've unlocked the Earthen, you will get yourself that mount. The next mount on the list in theory should be quite easy to obtain, but the event itself has gone through quite kind of wild changes and tweaks throughout the weeks. We are getting towards the launch now, so you would hope what we're seeing now is pretty much the end product, but that is going to be the Machine Defense Unit 111, and this comes from the weekly event The Awakening Machine, which is kind of now designed to be a nice, easy, soloable event that you'll go in and you'll kind of progress through on your own. The way this works is you'll enter the Awakening Machine, you'll have an NPC in the middle that you need to protect, and that NPC is going to be attacked by various different types of mobs. There's going to be some more basic ones that will kind of just run at him, and you've got to aggro them and kill them down. There's going to be some that will kind of explode when they get near you, so you want to make sure they explode away. There's going to be pylons of channel beams at him that you need to intercept and DPS down. There's going to be a mob that puts kind of a kind of cross ability on you, and you need to make sure it's not going to fire and hit him. And then there's going to be things that you could do to help him as well, like there'll be healing bots. You can kill the healing bot and that will give you a heal you can use on your NPC. So it's not going to be too difficult. Now that it's been designed as more of like a weekly activity, I think they're more tuning this for basically anyone to be able to go in and get this done. You may need a little bit of gear, but in general it shouldn't be too bad. If you are struggling, doing this on a class that has pretty good damage but also healing is going to be quite nice, because what you can do is leave one of the mobs that's not very threatening alive and just leave it to attack you. And while you're waiting, while it's attacking you, you can be healing the NPC up with whatever spell you've got, healing surge, etc. Get him to a good amount of life, and then kill that mob down and then move on to the next wave. Either way though, you'll go through the 20 waves. On the last wave, a mini boss will spawn, you'll kill the mini boss, and you will get yourself that mount. The next one, in theory again, should also be easy to get, and that is going to be Car Legend of the Deep. This is going to come from the weekly fishing tournament that we can find within the Hallowfall zone, and currently you only need level 1 fishing to go and do this. And what you need to do for the achievement is pick up the weekly quest. The event happens on Saturday. It doesn't matter what time you go. As long as you're playing the game on a Saturday, then the event will be active all day long. You don't need to be there a specific time period. But when you do pick up the quest, you will get a 1-hour buff. That buff will now allow you to catch trophy fish. You need to catch 3 trophy fish for the quest. And then for the overall achievement is you need to catch all of the fish found within Khaz Algar and also the trophy fish and hand that in within the time limit. However, currently on beta, Only the kind of quest side requires you to do it within the time limit, and it seems you can fish up the other fish regardless. So I'm not too sure if that's intended or you do actually need to get it all done within an hour. But currently on the beta, the achievement doesn't reset week to week, so you're able to continuously kind of build up the fish that you've got for the achievement, and then once you've got them all, you get the mount. There is a couple more howevers though. Currently you can't finish this achievement, some of the fish just aren't possible to be caught, so hopefully that does get fixed for launch, and this was a few days ago, so we're like a week or two from launch at this point. And additionally, the kind of event pops up in your fishing log around 175 skill, so I'm not too sure if they intend it to be an event that pops up once you are higher skill, or they do want anyone like with level 1 fishing to be able to do it, and that's just some kind of weird interaction that they've left behind. To make things easier as well, you could do this on war mode and do it as early on in the expansion as possible when people aren't really focusing on this kind of thing, and you'll be able to get it out of the way quite easily, hopefully, assuming everything works correctly. But either way, head to Hallowfall every Saturday, pick up the quest, and fish all the fish. The last ones for us to talk about can be debated whether they're easy or not, and that is going to be the Renown Mounts. Gaining the Renown itself is quite easy, the tasks that you need to do are quite straightforward. The problem is it is time gated, so getting these mounts is going to take you multiple weeks to get the Renown needed. But the actual things you're doing are quite straightforward, so it's up to you whether you think this is easy or not. But either way, in terms of gaining renown with the various factions, what you're going to be doing is killing all of the rares in each zone each week. So you're going to be going from zone to zone and killing the max level rares that will give you reputation. You can do those once per week per account. You're going to have the weekly events in each of the zones. So the first zone would be like the theater event. The second zone is the awakening machine. The third zone is the kind of light area. And the fourth zone is kind of picking a faction to champion. On top of that, you'll have a lot of one-time sources you can be working on as well, like doing the campaign, doing all the side quests, looting the treasures, and getting the lore items. Once you do all of that stuff, that will give you a large chunk of renown too. And additionally, there will be a weekly quest where you can pick one faction you want to give a 1,500 reputation towards. This is to do a dungeon, and currently you can do this with followers, so once again, very easy and straightforward to get done. Just queue in with some followers, complete the dungeon, and you will get that 1.5k rep of your choice. In terms of the mounts we can get from this, from the first faction, the Council of Donegal, you'll be able to get the Shalestone Ramolith at Renown 18 and the Smoldering Cinderbee at Renown 23. For the Assembly of the Deeps, you'll be able to get the Crimson Mudnose at Renown 19 and the Cyan Glowmite at Renown 23. For Hallowfall, you'll be able to get the Vermilion Imperial Lynx at Renown 21 and the Shackled Shadow at Renown 23. And then for the Severed Threads, there's going to be quite a few. First of all, at Renown 22, you'll be able to get the Ferocious Jaw Crawler, and then at Renown 23, you'll be able to get the Aquamarine Swarmite. But additionally, this faction has 3 sub-factions underneath it, and when you get each of these factions to rank 8 out of 9, you'll be able to pick up their various Undercrawler mounts. This will be the Heritage Undercrawler, the Royal Undercrawler, and the Widow's Undercrawler. Additionally, you will have the 2 trading post mounts that have been in the files for the expansion as well, which will be the Depth Stalker and the Hand of Reskigal, although we don't know if or when these will be introduced onto the trading post. And that's about it in terms of easy mounts you're going to be able to pick up in the expansion. There's not going to be a ton of them. If you want to see all the mounts that are available in the expansion, I'll have a link to a full guide for that in the description down below. Outside of that, let me know which mount you're going to pick up first. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.